Hi, this is Kumaravel from Mechanical Department, Sri Shanmukha College of Engineering and Technology. So, the previous video we discussed about the topic of the evolution of Factory Act, and then and also discussed the history of different acts. There is the 18 Factory Act 1881, Factory Act 1981. So, in this video, we will discuss about the topic of Factory Acts, particularly Factory Act in the 1948. So now we will move to the session. So the basic introduction about the Indian Factory Act 1948. So the Indian Factory Act 1948 is mainly focused on the workers in working industries. So and also the act, purely based on the safety, worker safety, health and monitoring the working condition of workers, and also applies to the factory that have more than 10 workers, and also uh, 20 or more workers, and also applicable for the industry of the workers 20 or more than 20 workers if no power and the machine are used. So the previous one is power and the machine are used in the industry. The second one is if a no power means the workers numbers is 20 or more than 20. So and also the main aim of this law is to stop the workers exploitation and also improve the working condition inside the industry. So the main objective of the act is to ensure the workers safety, so and also to protect the workers health inside the industries, and also the improving the working conditions. Like workers should get the proper break hour during the working hours, and also a limited working hours in a particular week or particular day, and also the fair wages based on the working conditions. The main objective is that to stop the workers exploitations. The mainly focus on the child labor. There is no child labor and the no forcing workers to the long hours, the more than 8 hours like that. And also the main objective is to provide the welfare facilities like uh, toilets, and then the restrooms, canteens, and also the first aid, and also give the special protection to women and the young workers. The women and young workers should have the safe working hours and then facilities inside the industry during the working hours. So these are the main objectives of the Act 1948. So first thing, that is the applicability of the Act. The Indian Factories Act 1948 so applies to the factory that meets the following conditions. So definition factory, section 2M. This is the one section based on the 1948 Act. So the section 2M will provide the factories with 10 or more than 10 workers. It is only applicable for the if power or the machines are used. If a power or machines are used means only applicable for 10 or more workers to allow the industries. After that, the factories, the 20 workers or more than 20 workers means there is no power or there is no machines to be used. Okay, these are the section 2M. The main note is the act does not apply to the mines industries, and then government and factories, and also the government factories with a less than required number of workers like that, uh, less than 20 or less than 10 like that. So this law helps to ensure the workers safety in the factories to meet these conditions, above conditions. So next thing, that is definition of factory, section 2M. The factory is any place where manufacturing is carried out. This is a definition of factory. The term the based on Indian Act 1948. The factory is any place where manufacturing is carried out with 10 or more workers. If using a machines, right? If you're using a machine means the only 10 or more than 10 workers only allowed to the industries. So if the people more than 20 means so not using the machines during the working time. The best example is there is a textile factory where 50 workers use the machines to make a clothes is the best example. And also the small food processing unit with 25 workers with the machines. So this is the best example for the section 2M. So after that, what is the worker types? So for adult means it comes under section 2A. A person 18 years or older than 18 years. This is a it comes under section of 2A. The adolescent it comes under section 2B. A person 14 to 18 years old is the definition of workers type based on the 1948 Act. For child means section 2Z comes under 2Z. A person under the 14 years is called a child in the Act of 1948. For young person means it comes under section 2D. A person under the 18 years but not child. It's like 14 to 16. So this is a definition of worker types based on the Indian Act. So after type the power, what is mean by power in the what is the definition of power in the Factories Act 1948? It comes under 2G. Uh, so it refers to any form of energy that is used in the factories to run the machines, such as electricity or by using a steam or mechanical energy or that is by means of wind like that. So prime mover. Prime mover means that is a working medium or a machine. So a prime mover is a machine that provides the power to the machines, like as like as electrical energy like that, like a steam engine or electric motor that drives the whole other factories equipments. So it's a come under section 2H. So and then what is the definition of manufacturing process in the it comes under section 2K. The definition of manufacturing process based on the Indian Factory Act 1948. It includes any activity that related to the making or processing the goods inside the factory. For example, textile productions involves the turning raw cotton into the fabric using machines. If food processing means that is the washing and cutting and packaging and food products. If manufacturing of steel industry means um, melting and making iron and cut into the small pieces like that. These are the manufacturing process. So after that, that is a worker. What is the definition of worker in the based on the Indian Act 1948 under the section of 2.1, the 2L. A worker is any more who works in a factory, whether full time or a part time, and is a paid wages. It's a definition of worker based on the Indian Factory Act 1948. For example, a machine operator in a textile industry, a cleaner working in a factory premises, after that a supervisor working in textile industries or otherwise steel industries like that. So what are the rights of the workers in the factory of 1948? So right to fair wages and also rights to safety and healthy environment and also the right to have a working hours. Working hour means like the 48 hours in a week, and also it includes that is a rest periods and also working holidays, right? The next thing, right to equal treatment, equally treated. It comes under the equally treated and also the compensation, right of compensation. These are the different rights of the workers inside the industries. The last one is the right to protection from the exploitation. So these are the different rights to be categorized in the 1948 Act. So after that, the definition of occupier in the section of 2N. So what is the definition of occupier? The occupier is the person who has the ultimate control over the factory. It's the main control, that is the maybe manager or otherwise supervisor like that. They are also responsible for the following all the laws related to the safety, health, and welfare of the workers. Maybe it comes under maybe say the term of safety officer, right? So what is the duty of occupier? So the main duty is, that is to ensure the workers' safety. Safety is the first concern, workers' safety, and also provide the so and also provide the proper protective equipment. Next thing, that is to maintain clean and healthy working conditions inside the factory, and also follow the rules for the working hours and the wages. The 48 48 hours per week, and also report the accident and hazards to the higher authorities, and also cooperate with the factory inspectors for the legal compliance. These are the occupiers under the section of 2N. Next thing, that is the definition of deemed occupier based on the Factory Act. So deemed occupier is the person, so it also considers the occupier of factory even if they are not the actual owner. So occupier is the main owner. So deemed occupier is it's not uh, exact owner. It's the one of the uh, it's one of the worker inside the factory. Uh, this usually also applies in the companies, whereas a director or manager is responsible for the factory operations. So the main note is in the private companies, the any one of the director is the deemed occupier. It is only for in the private sectors. In a government-owned factories means the person appointed by the government is the deemed occupier. So next thing we will discuss what are the provisions related to the health of the workers under the section of 11 to 20. Um, so these are the provisions to be given to the workers. So artificial humidification under the section of 15. So the lighting conditions under the section of 17, and also overcrowding, avoid the overcrowding under section of 16, the based on the Indian Factory Act, and also the drinking water. The clean drinking water must be provided to the sustainable places. It comes under, that is a section 18. So humidification in a certain industries, artificial humidification is that is the air cooler or otherwise that is the air conditioning systems will be provided. So proper lighting conditions in that section under the section 17. And in this act, so the glare and harsh reflection must be avoided in the working during the working hours. And then overcrowding means in the factory was built before the 1948, it must be provided at least 9.9 cubic meter per worker, that is the gap between the one worker to the another worker. So and then the section 19, the latrines and then urinals. So after that the section 20 is, that is the spitons. The spitons must be provided in the convenient places inside the industries or factories. In the section latrines and then urinals, the factories must provide the sufficient latrines and then urinals inside the factory or industries. So after that, the provisions related to the factory to the workers. I hope this video is very useful to know about the Indian Act 1948. Thanks, happy learning.